On February 1, 2026, headlines blazed. Philippine Navy declares Subic Bay fully operational as primary western hub. For Indo-Pacific watchers, the message was clear. Subic Bay was back, and the Philippines was at the helm. The bay, once a symbol of American might, now buzzed with Philippine and Allied activity. Gray-hulled frigates lined the piers, drones patrolled the skies, and Marines drilled with American counterparts. This wasn't just a reopening, it was a bold declaration. Subic Bay was reborn as the strategic heart of a new security architecture, a direct response to rising regional tensions. For decades, Subic faded into commercial obscurity, its military legacy nearly forgotten. Now, its revival marks a fundamental shift in Southeast Asia's power balance. The Philippines is reclaiming its strategic destiny, drawing a line in the contested waters of the South China Sea. The world is watching Subic Bay, not as a relic, but as a barometer of regional stability. Allied ships arrive for joint exercises, signaling unity and resolve. The quiet hum of commerce is now joined by the unmistakable sounds of military readiness. Subic's transformation is a statement of sovereignty and survival in the 21st century. The bay's natural advantages and storied history make it a critical piece on the global chessboard. As the Indo-Pacific heats up, Subic Bay stands ready, its future intertwined with the fate of the region. The question now, what happens next as the bay awakens to its new role? To grasp Subic Bay's significance, look to its Cold War past. It was the linchpin of American power in the Western Pacific, home to the 7th Fleet and thousands of U.S. personnel. Subic's shipyards serviced supercarriers, its depots fueled the fleet, and its airfields launched missions across Asia. During the Vietnam War, it was the U.S. Navy's primary repair and supply point. The base guaranteed security for allies like Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan, anchoring the regional balance of power. Subic was more than a military asset. It was a symbol of the U.S.-Philippine alliance. But as the Cold War ended, political winds shifted. The Philippine Senate rejected a treaty extension, and by 1992, the last American warship departed. Subic's era as a superpower fortress ended, but its strategic value never vanished. The base's legacy lingered, its potential dormant but never erased. The cycles of power, presence, and withdrawal defined Subic's story. Today, echoes of its past resonate in its modern revival. Subic's history is a reminder, strategic geography never loses its value. Now, as tensions rise, its legacy is being reactivated for a new era. Why Subic Bay? Geography is destiny. Its deepwater harbor accommodates the world's largest warships with ease. Surrounded by mountains and shielded by Grande Island, it's a natural fortress, protected from storms and easily defensible. The bay's narrow entrance is a strategic choke point, complicating any enemy assault. Subic sits on the edge of the South China Sea, just over 100 nautical miles from flashpoints like Scarborough Shoal. It offers direct access to vital sea lanes, making it prime real estate for any navy. From here, fleets can rapidly respond to incidents, project power, and monitor maritime traffic. Few places in Southeast Asia offer this trifecta: deep water, natural protection, and strategic location. Subic's geostrategic genius has drawn empires for centuries, and now it's at the center of 21st century competition. Its value is as timeless as the tides. In 1991, disaster struck. Mount Pinatubo's eruption crippled Subic Bay and Clark Air Base. Soon after, the Philippine Senate ended the U.S. military presence, and by 1992, Subic fell silent. The bustling naval base became a ghost town. Shipyards and barracks stood empty. For nearly 3 decades, Subic reinvented itself as a commercial free port. Warehouses filled with goods, hotels replaced barracks, and container ships replaced destroyers. The transformation was hailed as a model of economic conversion, creating thousands of jobs. Yet the bay's strategic value never disappeared, it simply slumbered. The world moved on, focused on growth and globalization. Subic's military infrastructure decayed, maintained only for civilian use. Tourists dove among shipwrecks, unaware of the latent power beneath the waves. The giant slept, its potential for naval power forgotten by most. But peace was fleeting. The tides of geopolitics were shifting. Subic's quiet years were a pause, not an end. The stage was set for the bay's reawakening. The world would soon remember why Subic mattered. The South China Sea's calm unraveled in the 2010s as China pressed sweeping maritime claims. Beijing's island building and militarization alarmed Manila, especially as Chinese vessels harassed Filipino fishermen. International law proved toothless. The Philippines needed a credible deterrent. Subic Bay, just a short sail from contested waters, became the obvious choice for a naval revival. Reactivating Subic was no longer optional, it was essential. The US, also wary of China's ambitions, saw renewed value in the bay. Manila and Washington's interests aligned, facing a new and complex challenge. As China's shadow grew, Subic's lights flickered back on. The Philippine Navy's return to Subic began quietly in 2022, leasing and rehabilitating the former Agila Shipyard. The transformation was massive. Commercial facilities converted back to military standards, piers were reinforced, warehouses secured, and communications upgraded. The government invested heavily, making Subic the cornerstone of naval modernization. The Navy's most advanced frigates, BRP Jose Rizal and BRP Antonio Luna, made Subic their home port. Their arrival marked a turning point. Subic was, once again, a frontline base. More than hardware, this was about building a culture of readiness. Subic enabled more frequent, complex training and rapid response to maritime incidents. By consolidating its fleet here, the Navy created a new center of gravity. Subic's reactivation is the Philippines' resolve made real. Subic's rebirth is powered by domestic investment and renewed alliances, especially with the US. Under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, the US co-invests in Subic's modernization. New fuel depots, upgraded runways, and advanced command centers are under construction. Tacher goal: seamless interoperability between Philippine and US forces. Regular joint training and port calls by US ships boost skills and send a message of deterrence. Allied presence makes aggression against the Philippines a riskier gamble. These are Philippine bases. US forces are guests, not owners. The sovereignty debate lingers, but security needs have forged a new consensus. Subic's transformation is the most tangible sign of this partnership. Together, allies are building a modern shield for the region. Subic's revival is now a multilateral story. Nations like Japan, Australia, the UK, Canada, and France are deepening military ties with the Philippines. Subic hosts joint exercises, port visits, and even submarine training with France. The Bay is a hub for like-minded democracies, building a flexible web of partnerships. Japan supplies patrol vessels, Australia conducts joint patrols, and the UK sends carriers. Subic's facilities can host multiple allied warships, enabling complex multinational drills. This networked security model isn't NATO, but it's a powerful collective signal. Subic is evolving into a forward base for a coalition upholding the rules-based order. It's more than a bilateral asset, it's a regional security anchor. Subic stands as a unique symbol of collective defense in the Indo-Pacific. How does Subic compare to other Southeast Asian naval bases? Malaysia's Lumut and Sepengar lack Subic's scale, depth, and allied integration. Thailand's Satahip is capable but too distant from key South China Sea flashpoints. Vietnam's Cam Ranh Bay is strategic, but foreign navies can't be stationed there. Subic's edge prime geography and open embrace of international partnerships. The EDCA allows for true allied integration. No other regional base matches this. Subic can host multiple carrier strike groups and allied fleets simultaneously. Its model transforms it from a national asset to a regional security anchor. The convergence of allies at Subic is unmatched in Southeast Asia. Subic is the region's premier platform for collective defense. Subic Bay's transformation is a bold move, a shield for the Philippines, but also a potential target. Allied presence deters aggression, but also puts Subic in the crosshairs of adversaries. In conflict, the base would be a prime target for preemptive strikes. Its strength is also its vulnerability. The debate is fierce. Does the security gained outweigh the risks? Some argue neutrality is impossible. Others fear being drawn into great power conflict. Subic's future is a double-edged sword, cornerstone of peace or lightning rod for war. The Bay's awakening changes the regional calculus for all players. As alliances deepen, the world watches. Will Subic secure the peace or become the first casualty? The answer will shape the fate of the Indo-Pacific.